Hello everybody. Today we're taking a look at my brother-in-law's Ruger M77 Mk II. This one is chambered in 30-06. What we're going to be doing to this rifle project is just making the user experience a little bit more friendly. In terms of, this thing kicks like a mule. The trigger is rough. Impacts down range are not consistent. We're not sure if that's the scope, the barrel, the whole system. We're not sure. So we're going to be doing a few improvements to this rifle, see if we can get it shooting better, a little more consistently. Want to just take a look at right now is this trigger pull on this rifle. We're going to go ahead and clear the breech here, just to make sure that now this one is completely empty. And let's just take a look right now at the trigger pull itself. So let's place this down here. Grab our trusty Wheeler trigger pull scale here and just see what we're at, just as a benchmark. There we go. Looking at just over 5 pounds. Try this one more time. Alright, there we've got it. About 4.5 pounds. Third time's a charm, I suppose. And there we go again. We've got it sitting right around that 4.5 mark. Alright, step 2 on this rifle after we've got it fully disassembled is looking in this stock. We're going to go ahead and kind of bore out this stock. Up in this area here we've got a little bit of wood material here along with a little bit here in front of the recoil lug area that I want to just take out, and then we'll hone out the sides here just to make a little bit more room so we can free float this barrel. And we got a little bit more material to go. We'll just keep sanding on this with my fancy sanding dowel here. Very expensive. Okay, now we got at least the bulk of the wood out of the way on this stock. What we want to do now is just, we're going to loosely fit the barrel in action in there and just see kind of where we're at. I know we got more material to get rid of, but this is just a starting point. So we'll go ahead and grab this here and drop our action and barrel in here. Now we're not going to just crank it down yet. I mean, we want it to be very loose at this point when we're testing with our bill here, our dollar here. And just seeing where we're at. See if we even cleared the front here yet. Okay, looks like we can get in. It's snug, and we're stopping right about there. So we definitely got some more material to remove in here, but we made progress anyway. So I'll get that sanded out. We'll be right back with you. Hey, look what we got while we were sanding away on our stock. The mail came here, courtesy of Optics Planet. Take a little look here at some upgrades for our Ruger Mk II here. We've got our Chimney Trigger. We're going to do some work on this little guy, but this is definitely going to help out our flinch factor, shooting this 30-06, give us a little bit, you know, of a finer trigger pull. Got our 10 commandments of gun safety here. Always good to know. We also got limb saver. Nice little recoil pad for the end of our stock. This thing's gonna feel great compared to this old factory rock hard rubber from Ruger here. So this is gonna be a great addition to this rifle. Alright, we're just kind of finishing up here now on our sanding. Looking pretty darn good. I think we're gonna get it sized up here shortly. But this whole raceway here in this stock is just really looking nice. Only thing touched is what's down in this channel. There's nothing on the outside on the finish. And when we get this thing properly fed, we're going to set this up again with a little bit of a top coat on here again, just to clean it up, give it more of that polished look. Let's just grab our hose here quick. Give this a little bit of a blow off here. There we go. Alright, now let's see how we're sitting. Grab our barrel interaction. Got our Jackson ready. Okay, now I'm just going to do a squeeze on that receiver here, on the action here. Give it a simulated attached feel. Obviously when we actually put the screws into this, it's definitely going to compress it a little bit more, but this gives us a good benchmark, like I said before. Here we go. We are just smooth as butter coming through here. Plenty of room. This thing's going to be great. Alright guys, we got the rifle stock here set up, ready for a clear coat and our final product inside here when we honed out the stock for the bore and the barrel. Just using some painter's tape, protected all the actual final finishes of the original stock. We aren't going to bother any of that. Like we did, and as you witnessed, we just honed out the inside, and that's all we're going to care about getting restored, and nothing else is going to get touched. So this rifle should maintain primarily its classic original look. The idea is this, just improve its actual function. We're really not worried about tricking this gun out, making this into something that it's not. So that's what we're looking at. So we'll be right back. I'll get this all set up and we'll get it sprayed down, and then we'll give you a final look at that. And that's going to be it for phase 1 on the stock. Second phase, we will get that recoil pad installed. Be right with you. Alright guys, so we're working on the recoil pad now on our Ruger stock. And I've got the old pad here, hard rubber, very unforgiving on the shoulder. And we got our new limb saver here. And what you want to do with these is first just see how the fit is. And what we've got here is just a template. Shows us exactly our model. We got the Tenton 800. This primarily fits most of these stocks, but every stock is a little different depending on what year they were made, what month they were made, who was making it that day. So what we want to do is just take a quick little fit look here on this template. And we can see our old holes here. We're going to go ahead and just kind of line this up. Make sure at least the contour of this recoil pad is going to fit. You know, and this thing fits, 99%. I feel just a little bit of a burr here and there on this paper. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to mark on these cross hatches exactly where the new screws need to go. Make sure that I already kind of hand fit this stuff, looking at from the old to the new. We're going to have a little bit of a deviation here, so we're going to end up filling these holes in and waiting for that to set up, and then we're going to go ahead and then drill in some new holes to mount our new buttstock. So basically we're just going to go ahead and line this up. Best fit all the way around. Just using your fingers, you can feel exactly where this thing needs to sit. Go ahead and we'll just score it. And let's see if I can do this without my third arm. Alright. Yep, there we go. We got a mark. go ahead, we'll try it on the second one here too. I should probably just tape this in place before I do this, but we're kind of winging this stuff. Okay, there we go. So we got our marks. We're going to go ahead. They are a little bit off. Let's see if we can see them here on camera. But I'll turn it sideways here a little bit. You see it's just down from each of them. You know, I get a little mark there, little mark there, we're scored. So we're going to go ahead and fill those in so that those holes don't collapse once we drill out and place our new screws into our limb saver recoil pad. Alright guys, so what I like to do, filling in wood holes like this that have been tapped out, screwed up, is fill wood with wood. What I've got are some toothpicks, some wood glue. I'm going to go ahead and just fill this thing up with each of those. I find this to be very effective. They're very forgiving as far as if you epoxy the thing in there, you know, it's solid, yes. But the problem with epoxy is it doesn't expand at the same rate as wood does. So I want to go with wood to fill wood. I just find it to be a little better, especially if we're going to be drilling that close to it in the original locations. So I just want to make sure that that kind of stuff is as close to the original as possible. So we're going to go ahead and we'll jam this thing plumb full of toothpicks, wood glue, and we'll cap it off on the top with some wood putty just to give it a nice fine finish, and we'll sand it even with the rest of the stock before we go ahead and drill our new holes in here for our limb saver. I think we got them done right there. Alright guys, as you can see, we've got each of those holes filled right now with toothpicks and glue. We're going to go ahead and let that dry, get set hard. We'll finish it off with a little putty. And then at that point, we'll be able to drill out and get our new screws threaded through the new limb saver recoil pad. Okay, well we wait for that wood glue and toothpick combination to dry here. Just want to take a look here at our new Chimney Trigger that we're going to be placing in this. Two pieces, very simple. Model a lot right after the original trigger. As you can see here on the action, you know, very similar. And one thing we got to do on this trigger is, you'll see here there's a little blue dot here. And each rifle is made in either left hand, right hand, different models, a little bit between the years as well. So what Chimney did is just make it so that this thing can fit your rifle. And they've got it marked here blue. We're going to actually need to be removing some of this material here to get sized up with the Ruger's original safety. And if you can look here closely on the safety area, I'll grab my little puncher for a pointer. As you try to pull the trigger here, there's a little bit of metal right here that sticks out and gets caught on this part of the safety. And as you rotate that safety from safe, actually that's from lock, this is safe, all the way over to fire, if you look underneath here, you can see it's wedged out and allows that trigger to move freely. When that safety is back, that trigger no longer moves. They get locked up right here. So we're going to do the same thing. We got to just get enough material off that when it's in fire mode it moves freely, and safe mode it gets locked up on that. Okay guys, I've gone ahead and popped out the factory trigger and placed in the new Chimney sear, and I want to just better illustrate here what we're talking about for moving material. So I'm going to try to zoom in on this a little bit. And what we're looking at is this safety is going to be the issue. Rotating right here. You get our spring. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and put that on here. Try to hold this here and free hold it so that we can all kind of see what's going on. So when the trigger goes in to roughly where it's going to stay here, the trigger isn't able to clear, or the safety isn't able to clear the actual new trigger. It gets caught here, right on this part here, the shiny part just under my fingertip. And so we're just going to move, I mean, 1/8 of an inch or so, maybe not even quite that, so that that can clear and then effectively stop the trigger from engaging the sear. Okay guys, we've got the safety and the trigger working in unison, as you see here. Now on the side here, place the trigger into the full lock position. Nothing on this trigger moving. The regular safe position, once again nothing. Move it to fire. Now we've got movement. Back to safe. Nothing. That's what we're looking for, guys. A tight, clean finish, mating these two parts for safety. Alright guys, here's a quick look at the matte clear finish on the inside of our stock. As you can see here, it looks absolutely undisturbed. This thing is just turned out great. We've got enough room in there to clear the barrel, get our jacks in to pass around the barrel freely all the way up to very close to that recoil lug. Can't even tell that anything's been done to this stock. Really did turn out great. Okay guys, we're just doing a little bit of fitting for this trigger, and I was doing some function tests on it now that I got it all pieced together, and I've noticed right in this general area here, and I'm working with a file right now working on this, but the trigger was riding along the stock kind of like right along this spot here, and it was kind of binding it up. So every time I would pull the trigger and then release, the trigger wouldn't quite go back into its neutral state. And so when I pulled the bolt back and then put it back into battery, as it went into battery, the bolt would basically engage all the sears and things, and the firing pin would actually just go ahead and go forward. Not hard, not with force or anything, but it wouldn't remain in the cocked position. So I'm just freeing this up, removing just a little bit of material in through this area here. Just trying to get it smoothed out so that there's no obstructions to this trigger. Alright, we have the trigger in. The receiver bolts are in and snug. We are now going to function test this. Bolts in. We have no ammo in the magazine. Breech is empty. Go ahead and put that right in there. Let's just try it on the full lock, and with this model you can actually lock it all the way up into the furthest safe position, which prevents you from even bringing the bolt back. Cool, I can't move it. That's a good thing. Go ahead, and we got this cleared. No click. Can't move it. That's good. We'll go to the regular safe position. Pulling on the trigger right now. I've got nothing. Try it again. It's in the safe position. Nothing. Alright, we're going to send it to fire. Boom. Remains in the lock position. Like I was saying before, as soon as I would fire it like this, cock the bolt again, and when I brought it home, and as I closed it, this part of the bolt that pushes out on the firing pins went ahead and went forward every single time, and I wouldn't get this thing to actually cock. I don't think it would have fired, but it wouldn't be ready to fire when you pulled the trigger either. It kind of just decocked itself as it went forward. So this is looking great. Fantastic. Let's get a after trigger pull weight measurement here. Alright, we got the camera readjusted here. We're going to go ahead and pull this back. Oh geez guys, this is awesome. I don't know if you can see that, but we are sitting like right at the 2 pound mark. Go ahead and reset. There we are again. 2 pound mark. Beautiful, beautiful smooth trigger from Chimney. Now I also wanted to show, while it's all in this complete tight configuration, things are working, you know, as they were here shortly on camera. Just take another look here at our free float job. Look at this, guys. I mean, just slips right up and down this barrel. Beautiful. Alright guys, we have gone ahead and we have drilled out our new holes at the end of our stock for our new recoil pad. We're going to go ahead and just get that installed. So what you end up doing is you do use the original factory screws to mount this. They just go right inside here. Kind of push them, pop them right through here. One down. A lot of pushback on this. Look at this, guys. This thing is just, it's awesome. It's like gel. It's just amazing. This thing. Yeah, there's nothing there. You may as well just had a book on your shoulder or just use this, right? So, fantastic. We got this all set up. Our old holes have been plugged, sanded. They're looking just great. Okay, everything's started. I'm going to go ahead, give myself a bit of an extension here and an advantage. Okay, I'm going to just back it off just a little bit here. The nice thing with the limb savers, it does give you a little bit of adjustability here. It's built in there. The holes are a little bit oblong, so you can really get a fine, perfect fit all the way around the rifle's buttstock here. And then give it the final touches. I might have even went just a little bit past it there. Okay. There we go. Look at that, guys. Look at that. a great look, a great fit. This rifle has come a long ways. So we got that all mounted on there. Torqued it all down with our torque wrench here, the fat wrench. You've probably all seen that. So I'm going to go ahead and just show that it is functioning still. Safety back on, nothing. Locked up, nothing. And go ahead and fire it one more time. Awesome. We are fully functioning again. It's been wiped down. Got my fingerprints out of that on the inside here underneath the the barrel to action stock there, inside the stock or whatever. So it's all good. I looked around in my shop. I do have this old Coldwell Bipod, so I'm gonna go ahead, give this to him too, get that on there. Make it a little easier for me too when we go to the range and get this thing sighted, zeroed, and accuracy tested. See how it's shooting. I mean, this thing was a few weekends ago we took it out and it was struggling. I mean, it could hit 100 yards, but getting out 200-300 yards, we were struggling trying to get this thing to do what we wanted it to do. So hopefully some of this work is going to improve it, make it a little more reliable come deer season here in November. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this put up on here. There we go. Now when we load this thing forward, you guys don't know how to mount the bipod on there. You don't want the legs to fall forward. You want to be able to push up against this thing and really secure yourself, give yourself a stable firing platform. So if they don't do that and they fold up on you, it's because you got it backwards. So there, we got that on, and we'll go ahead and get his little sling on there, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, here we are with our Ruger M77 Mk II in 30-06. We've got it all pieced together. I hope you enjoyed watching this. The next time we meet, we'll be out at the range doing some firing, checking the accuracy, and how that recoil feels now with that new limb saber. We're looking forward to it. Thanks again for watching. Till next time.